Rising up back on the street, did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's deep.
Please remain standing at this time. We are going to have the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Class 21-147, forward face.
Class 21-147, forward face.
At this time, can we have graduates Ricardo Esteban and Valerie Canagita please come to the stage? Graduate Canagita will lead the invocation, to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Ricardo Esteban.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, I'm nervous. Good morning. Let us pray. Let's bow our heads and let us pray. Lord, thank you that every good gift comes from you. You have promised that we could commit everything we do to you. Then you will cause our plans to succeed. Our success will come from aligning our plans with your will. Please help us in our hard days when we face challenges during our academic journey. Please be present. Help overcome even the hardest of our moments with your strength and perseverance. When we feel dejected or doubtful, please remind us of our worth. When we fall down, remind us that you are always there to help us back up. God, whenever flames may range with strength to save a life, help us to embrace a little child before it's too late, or save an older person from the horror of the faith. Amen.
Before the Pledge of Allegiance, we want you to know that the Pledge of Allegiance will be followed by the national anthem. Please remain standing until the entirety of the anthem has been played, and I will direct you when to sit. Step forward.
Class 21-147, left face. Class 21-147, present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Instructors, you may be seated. Class 21-147, you may be seated.
Class 21-147, prepare to sit. Sit.
Okay, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. It's a momentous occasion. We don't take it lightly. As I was saying to some of you who were here earlier, and particularly for all of you who've arrived within the last few minutes, this past year, because of the pandemic, was very difficult on everybody, psychologically and otherwise. So we understand the amount of support that you gave your loved ones so that they could achieve the success that they have today. And this class will be forever defined as a class that went through Fire Academy during the pandemic. And the significance of that is that we understand how a calamity, a pandemic, can stop the whole world. This is what these folks in public safety train for, to help you, to protect each other. So they came through this program, and they were challenged not only by the demands of the program, but also in the middle of all this health crisis. So we want to thank you, and what I'd like Class 2147 to do is please stand and give your loved ones a round of applause. Bring Class 2147 to attention.
Class 21-147, attention.
Applause. Good. Class 2147, you may be seated.
Class 21-147, prepare to sit. Sit.
Okay, because we know in the fire service, absolutely nothing is done alone. Every single thing that we do is done as part of a team. So that team support starts with you at home. And we're going to urge you that not only to continue to support them, but to push them to excel, to earn additional certifications, to advance their education, and challenge themselves more. Because this profession, while it's challenging, it has so many wonderful opportunities. So we don't want them to just be happy with having completed the Fire Academy at this stage in their career, but we want future lieutenants, captains, yes, chiefs, to emerge from this group. So please help me in that assistance. Now, part of my team has to do with the administration that supports us in our programs. So I want to start with telling you about our current college president, Furman Vasquez, and our dean of faculty, who I work with, Dr. Venezuela, as well as the dean of School of Justice, which is Wesley Fox. You may not know the names of the people that we mentioned, but those are the people that are instrumental in helping to provide resources. And then led at the top by the college president, one of our, the newest college president is Madeline Pumariega. Okay, so she helps to support the programs college-wide. There are over 300 programs at Miami-Dade at Miami-Dade College, and the Fire Academy and the Police Academy are the fixtures that are at the North Campus. So without the resources, the equipment that we use, the infrastructure, the buildings, and quite frankly, the instructors who we're going to talk a little bit about, we couldn't do any of this, okay? And if you don't know about the history of Miami-Dade College, and particularly its Fire Academy, we have one of the premier fire academies, and our recruits are admired and respected throughout. We just had the state test, and every single time the state comes to test our recruits, they remark on how disciplined they are, how focused, and how prepared they are. And quite frankly, the local fire departments that hire them, okay, state these things to us as well. So we want to thank Class 2147. You've met the challenge. That's why you're here today. Okay. So a few things for those of you who came in a little bit late. We have restrooms immediately outside the doors if you need to use a restroom, because we are part of public safety and in keeping with our practices. If there were an emergency today, your loved ones know where the exits are, but for you, they're immediately behind you and to the side. So we're not going to have any emergencies today, but in keeping with our practices, we want you to know that. All right. So these students started out a while back. It started with a lengthy process where they filled out a one-page application. They applied for admission to Miami-Dade College, and it set the ball rolling. They didn't know each other. They went to a physical ability test where they were challenged with the physical ability test, where they have to do 5 tasks in under 8 minutes. Okay, it puts you out of your comfort zone. They were selected and survived. They arrived first day, and immediately they were besieged with commands, with orders, and they were forced to work together. So I describe a little bit about this because I want you to know how this comes about. This is part of a lengthy process that's done all over the country and, quite frankly, around the world. We know that a transformation has to take place to be able to fulfill the demands of this profession. It certainly doesn't happen overnight, and you should have noticed a transformation in your loved one. We certainly have. We don't allow them to use the word can't, because failure is not an option in this profession. All right, so Class 2147, we appreciate that you challenged yourself. You stepped out of your comfort zone. It's a very difficult thing to do, but you have reaped the rewards. Now, at this time, what I want to do is recognize perhaps some of the people that are part of the group that you belong to in the way of public service. So are there any firefighters, fire chiefs, police officers, correctional officers in the crowd? Please stand up at this time if you are off duty. I see one. I'm going to call you out. Captain Kopinski for Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, okay, who happened to be, she was in the same position as this class. She was my recruit. I was her recruit instructor. So please stand and be recognized. Thank you. And you, sir, what agency are you with? Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. Good. All right. So thank you. Are there, yes? Are there any police officers, corrections officers, dispatchers? Are you police? Excuse me? Okay, let's give you a hand for okay. And another group, or actually a couple that I definitely like to include. First are nurses and medical professionals that took us through this challenging year. Any nurses or anybody that works in the healthcare field, please stand and be recognized. What do you do, sir? Dental? Okay, yeah. Yeah, everybody needs a good drill in every once in a while. Yes. Cardiac nurse, okay. So we call you for a heart attack, right? Okay, good. All right, and then you, ma'am? Doctor? Oh, okay. Thank you. We actually have a doctor in the house. And then the last group, are there any teachers here? Because none of us would be anywhere. We wouldn't be anything without our teachers. Our parents are our first teachers, but teachers actually help prepare the world for everything. So any teachers in the audience? Thank you. Thank you. What do you teach, sir? Excuse me? Special education. Thank you. And you, ma'am? Pre-K? Good. The formative years. And then another group that we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to. Are there any military, current, past? Please stand up. What branch were you in? In the Army, thank you. And you? U.S. Army? Okay. Did I miss anybody? Remain standing, remain standing. We want to thank you especially because we understand the price of freedom is not free. You allow us to do this, okay, in a country like America. We're here, and we're not under threat of anybody making us stop. You're free to speak as you want. You know, we relatively can go anywhere we want, and you're free to challenge yourself to enter a profession. You ensure that for the country, so we thank you for your service. Okay, so three-time Olympic champion track star Gail Devers made a quote that I often use. It's a very simple, but it embodies what the class has gone through. Okay, she said that every accomplishment begins with a simple decision to try, and what they did is they challenged themselves to try. It doesn't mean that you're going to succeed at everything. It means that you're going to try, you're going to have to adjust. If you do make a mistake, you take corrective action, you take ownership, and then you persevere. So you stepped out of your comfort zone. Thank you for trying. And again, we're going to continue to extol the virtues of this class and all of the ideals. Now, for this to happen, I talked about a part of the team. This is where we see if you were paying attention. You, sir, I'm looking at you. Were you paying attention to what I was saying before? Okay, good. All right. I said part of the team because you're part of the team. But there's a part of the team that deal directly with these students, and they take ownership. As a matter of fact, they take your role, almost a parental role. And we have one of those instructors here today, and would Instructor Paul Royce please stand up? Okay, so Mr. Royce and Art Fair were the instructors of this class. I understand Art couldn't be here, but if you just indulge me for just a few minutes. First of all, doesn't he look sharp? He's the only other guy in the room that looks sharper than me, and I'm going to have to talk to him about that. There can only be one guy at a time. All right. Anyway, but the instructors take on this parental role, right? So they get to hear all of the issues, concerns of the class. They try to mold them. They form bonds with them. They hurt when the class hurts, and they do what you do. Okay, you love them, you care about them, you want them to do well, but you understand they have responsibilities. Who's playing a symphony? Please put your devices on silent, please. Otherwise, you're going to have to do push-ups. If you're good with push-ups, leave them on. All right. So yeah. So they feel the pains that you do. They want the class to do well. They understand they can't do them for you. Just like you send them out the door. You may feed them, help them, you give them words of encouragement, and then you try to foster these bonds so that they understand that we want the best for them. That's why we push them hard. So he played this role along with Art Fair and the other instructors, but they poured their heart and soul in it. And I'm going to speak a little bit for Paul, but I know all the instructors. Every time, particularly lead instructors, when they do a class and the class leaves, they feel that little pang of that parents feel, like, you know, their loved one is leaving, that they hope the best for them in life. And I know that's the way he feels. don't let his tough exterior fool you. All right. Did he crack a smile? Man, he doesn't break for nothing. Okay. Anyway, but I want to tell you, he loves you guys. He cares. All right. I know because he would come into office on your behalf all the time, up to and including about graduation. You may be seated, Paul. You're literally the first class that we're doing an official graduation since COVID. And he came to me and he said, Chief, we're going to have a graduation for the class. But he didn't say it in just a question form. He said it in a way of gently nudging me, like he wanted that for you, okay? Yeah, you did. So I thought, yeah, we're grappling with all this stuff. Is it time? Things were developing a day at a time. And I didn't want to get his hopes up or the class's hopes and not be able to deliver. Thank God, all right, again, I mentioned my hierarchy and officials, again, looking at the changes that are going along the country, they agreed. So that's why we're here today, right up until the last minute. So, but anyway, the instructors play this role, and it's a very serious role. And I know that the class has formed bonds with them, and again, these are lifelong bonds. I remember all of my recruit instructors as well. So with that, we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to start in just a few minutes with the awarding of certificates, and then there's a class video a little bit later that will show you, because I'm sure every one of you, okay, you too, sir, you probably heard what they told you. Some of it may be true or not, but there's a class video that they constructed to just get a little glimpse of what their life was like. Because, yes, they did a lot of push-ups. They did a lot of sit-ups. They wore a lot of heavy gear. They learned to use dangerous equipment. They actually did dangerous things they were trained to do. It's difficult. It's difficult to wake up in the morning and knowing that you have to do these things. In this particular class, this was the night class, but nonetheless, they had to fulfill 492 hours of training. All of it has to be documented all the way to the end. So the people that you see sitting in these seats today are different people from who you sent to us. Okay, they are more confident, they're more trained, they're ready. In fact, they're so ready, they're ready to replace us on the departments, and we'll be glad to recommend them. So I just wanted to share that. Also, a little bit later at the end, we will have not refreshments, we haven't started that out yet, but there'll be some water for now, okay? So if you need anything, not the class. So at this time, would you join me at the podium? We're going to start with calling the names of the students, and for the parents and loved ones, feel free to come up front to take their pictures. Be mindful that somebody else is coming next, so please feel free to snap pictures of your loved ones. So would you prepare row one, please? Okay. You want to call the names? Oh boy. Need your glasses?
These are in order. Nice. Person. All right, this guy. Don't think he's not here. He's not here. So take him out. These aren't in order. These aren't in order. Yeah, I'm just gonna give him the wrong one and then trade later. All right. Class leader, Mr. Ramon Monteagudo. Squad 1 leader, Marcelo Calderon. Mr. Adrian Diaz. Claudia Mandestin. Damian Rivas. Claudio Roldan. Squad 2 leader, Michelle Liscano. Isaac Diaz. Damian Farage. Yamirli Guerrero. Okay, here we go. Nicolas Mitidieri. Manuel Pazos. Matthias Calderon. Albert Espaleta. Kevin Falcon. Not here. Guess we're missing one. Adrian Gomez. We love him too.
I feel the love.
Juan Saudi Jr. Squad 4 leader, Victoria Santiago. This next gentleman is Italian, and I'm sure I'm not going to do his name justice. Gianfranco Frabodi. Eduardo Hernandez. I'm not sure, Mr. Riconco, I'm not sure whether you wanted me to use your full name. It's all right, because it's in here. Julio Riconco Garcia. Kel Robin, the second. Adrian Ruiz. Squad 5 leader, Anel Gomez. Alexis Diaz. Genesee Miranda. Taylor Quintero. Julian Rivera. Squad 6 leader, Adam Weatherington. Valerie Canagita. Christian Sejas. Here we go. Jesus Portal Margolis. Brian Portillo. And finally, Esteban Ricardo.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Instructor Royce, who's going to talk about, well, he'll talk to you. There's a few individual awards that we're going to hand out. And before he sits down, I want to correct Mr. Esteban Ricardo. I said Ricardo Esteban, right? It just flowed that way. So that's the correct name. All right, go ahead. You can go.
All right. This is a tradition that we've had here at Miami-Dade College at least as long as I've been here, which is 16 years. And I'm not always particularly fond. Because as the chief said, one of the first things we have to do as instructors here is begin building a team. Teamwork is essential here at Miami-Dade College, and every single student in the class has their role to play and must play their part for the class to be successful. The chief said something along the lines of, once they get here, we have to force them to work together. I will tell you this. There was never any need for me to push or cajole or force this group of individuals to work together. They came together, they gelled together as a class from the very start. And it is a credit to them and a credit to all of you that this fine group of human beings right here looked out for each other, took care of each other, took great pride in each other's individual success, and felt the pain of individual failure. It's a wonderful group of people. I am honored to have been their lead instructor. They are all deserving of special recognition, and so I would ask that you all join me in giving applause for the students of Class 2147. Thank you. All right, so in keeping with tradition, 4 people are going to get special recognition today. The first person that I would like to recognize is the recipient of our Physical Fitness Award. Now, physical fitness is a combination of things: strength, endurance, stamina, flexibility, balance, and speed and power. No one human being possesses all of them in the same amount. Some human beings are blessed to have all of them in a pretty darn fair amount. And this individual is one of those human beings, Mr. Anel Gomez, our Physical Fitness Award winner. Would anyone from Mr. Gomez's family like a photograph? The next person is, in fact, truly remarkable in the area of academic achievement. In fact, so remarkable that people who had worked here for some 20 years commented on her average. We have 26 quizzes that we give here, 645 questions in those quizzes. She got a total of 8 wrong. That is stunning. Aced 20 of 26 tests. On 4 of the remaining, she only got 1 wrong, and the most she ever got was 2 wrong on the last 2 tests. Truly incredible, remarkable. Ms. Victoria Santiago, please come up and accept the award for academic excellence. So as instructors, we all know and we all understand that one of the most important decisions you'll make is who you're going to decide will be the class leader. Everyone that worked with this class all came and commented on what a fantastic job our class leader did. We usually try to pick people with military experience because we found that those people tend to understand right off the bat what we want and what we need from a class leader. There's only one person in this class that had that military experience, so the choice for class leader from the beginning was obvious. Nonetheless, he was truly amazing as a class leader. He kept everything running on time, kept everything running perfectly, made my job really, really easy. And as I said, every instructor that worked with this class commented on what a great job he was doing. And he was the class leader from the very beginning, throughout. There was never any doubt in our mind we picked the right person. And I'm sure that everyone in the class is also grateful for all the hard work and effort from Mr. Ramon Monteagudo. And the last award, best overall. It's always a tough one because, like physical fitness, being the best student overall is a lot of things. You have to be good academically. This particular individual had the third highest average in the class. You have to be good physically. And again, that's a combination of things. How do you decide where you rank everybody physically? But this particular student always kept up, regardless of what we were doing. Best overall should also have leadership. We didn't single this individual out for leadership immediately, but as time went on, we noticed he was always there to help. He was always there for the other students, and he eventually became the leader of Squad 6 because he earned it and he deserved it. He earns best overall, and he does deserve it. Mr. Adam Weatherington, please come up. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Instructor Royce. Before we go on, I'd like for all of the squad leaders to stand up, please. Okay, so, and class leader, you may stand. So, we teach them chain of command. And for those of you who don't know much about chain of command, think about the parental role. You have firstborn, elder sibling, and they help to ensure order, to ensure the values, and also fulfill the missions and objectives of a family. So these are the folks that help not only instructor Royce as a lead instructor, but through the class leader. We gave the class leader a headache, and it's the biggest headache you could give somebody in life, the responsibility of other people. That's difficult. You not only rose to the occasion, you excelled, but again, everything's done as part of a team. He had to enlist the squad leaders. They had to trust each other, and then that message that comes from the top through the instructors to the class is to them, okay? And then on the other side, we held all of them responsible for everything that happened. No excuses. So I want to thank you. Okay, you've already set the stage for meeting that challenge, and that's what we do in public safety on both police and fire. So that responsibility that you felt, it's important. We need people that, despite the fact that it feels uncomfortable, despite the fact that you may feel ill at ease in terms of your leadership, that you rise to the occasion, and we want to recognize you as well. So let's give them a hand. And class leader, thank you for leading by example. Okay, you may be seated. Now, on behalf of the class, I'm going to call graduate Manuel Pazos to deliver the remarks on behalf of his class.
Good morning. Family, friends, and loved ones, on behalf of Class 21-147, we would like to thank you for your support as we continue on to the next chapter in our lives. Although this is the end of the Academy, it is just the beginning of our careers. We started the Academy on January 12th as complete strangers, and today we walk across the stage as brothers and sisters that share an unbreakable bond. We owe it all to our instructors. Without their guidance, support, and training, we would not be where we are today. To Instructor Paul Royce, thank you for being the father figure and showing us that regardless of this being a night class and having most of us show up exhausted from a day of work, you pushed us past our limits and made sure that we always stayed in line so that we didn't have to hear from you your most famous words. Front leaning rest position now. To Instructor Arthur Fair, who is not here, thank you for being the mother figure that also made sure that we stayed in line, but through more maternal ways. The energy and compassion that you showed us each and every one of us, the force that pushed us forward when we most needed it. Thank you. I could stand here all day today and tell you stories about our adventures, but I'll try my best to keep it short and simple. For 6 months, all of our blood, sweat, and tears led us to this stage. From the minute we walked through those doors of the Academy, we were all lost and confused. We didn't know anyone, we didn't know what to do, and we didn't know what to expect. But that all changed the minute the instructors guided us through and paved the way for us to be standing here today. From hearing the words, "on the diamonds," to my personal favorite, we're going to do 20 to the 4 count. Let me tell you guys, even if you weren't that great at math, we learned how to count real quick. After hearing these instructions time and time again, we quickly started to learn we were just here to do what was needed, no questions asked. And if we did ask, it became a bad day for the recruits and a fun day for the instructors. The instructors' jobs were to push us past our breaking points, to make us want to quit, to make us fearless and strong, not only as individuals, but as a team. They needed to break us down not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally, and built us right back up from rock bottom. We soon found out that it was not hard to find everyone's weakness, whether it being blacked out in a confined space or climbing up extension ladder 35 feet up in the air, leg locking and leaning back, to push-ups, running, obstacle courses, or just PT in general. I once heard a saying that really struck out to me after joining the Fire Academy. It said, "Don't work as a group of individuals, but as an individual group." This was instilled in us from day one. If one of us was out of place, we were all out of place. Everything had to be done as a team, as it should be, even if that meant going to the bathroom with someone else, even if they did not need to use it. This academy took us in as men and women and turned us into stronger men and stronger women. From taking our I can'ts and turning them into I can, Through their relentless training, we now know that the day we face a real emergency situation, we will always be comfortable facing it. I thank you all for your time and commitment to help each and every one of us on this stage on our individual journeys and put paths in our lives. For this new brotherhood, I am forever grateful. With that being said, this was the most fun we've ever had and that we never want to have again. To my brothers and sisters, I just want to say I love you all. It has been a pleasure to work with you guys to get to this point in our lives. I wish you guys the best of luck. I wish you guys the best of luck on your future endeavors. We will always be first in, last out, 35 strong.
Thank you, Manuel. And you can see there's a lot of emotion. These bonds are real, and as I told you, I can attest, and every one of us that's part of the fire service, these are lifelong bonds. Also, I waited a while, and normally do this at the beginning, because we have some of the other people that are integral to the team and your loved one's success. And they weren't here, so I want to give them their due while they're here. So my staff that works with me, and we have a very small office. It's, besides myself, there's 3 other people. One person just retired. I'm going to mention her anyway, but one of the people that are integral to our office and who actually acts in the capacity of mother hen to all of these students, making sure the documentation that has to be received at the state, all the tracking, that all the official and legal stuff that has to happen from at the very beginning, the application process information is done. So I'd like to recognize her, Miss Kimberly Grant. Please stand up. And Miss Teresa LaFleur, who just retired after 36 years, she's not here. Her last day was May 30th. And if you would, let's give her a round of applause in absence. And in addition, one of the people who he's new to college. He was hired during the pandemic year, but he acts as my right hand. He's not here today, but he's retired from fire department in Clifton, New Jersey. Deputy Fire Chief Michael Alora. He's not here, but the students know him, so he's part of the team. Let's give him a hand. And then there's somebody else who I introduced earlier, but standing on the stage. I'd like to recognize him again because he wears multiple hats and he's a very strong influence, Chief Danny Cardesso. He's a division chief with Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and he brings his insight, knowledge, and focus to the class. On this part, he acts as head instructor in charge over the instructors. So again, this is part of the team that helps to make your loved ones successful. And also not here, a few of the other instructors that play additional roles is Instructor Anto Pena, who acts as our logistics utility guy, and Craig Hatton, who does the actual scheduling. So all those people actually are behind the scenes, sometimes in the front, helping to make all of this happen. It is not just me. They make me look good. All right, so you're going to learn this in the fire service. There are the people that almost go nameless and faceless because they are so good at their jobs and they're so dependable that you can almost take them for granted. and people don't notice until they are not there. But they represent the backbone of the organization. They're everywhere, not just in the fire service, everywhere. They're the people that they lend readily of their time. Their egos are not so large that they can't help somebody. They step in when they need to, but they're so dependable that they can be missed. And I want to recognize them wherever they are, because I've depended on those people, and you've benefited from them as well. Now with that, the next thing that we're going to do is show a brief video presentation. This is where I like to say where fact, okay, meets fiction. All right, so your loved ones said how hard it was. It was hard. So you're going to get to judge for yourself. And actually, who helped put together the video? Where are you? You stand up. Don't take. So, you know, and Valerie Kanagita. I said it correctly? Kanagita. All right. Anyway, but our class members have multiple talents, so she helped put together the class video. So instructors, can we vacate the stage, and you can play the class video for your viewing pleasure.
I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Call me, baby, if you need a friend. I just wanna give you love. Come on, come on, come on. Reaching out to you, so take a chance. No matter where you go, you know you're not alone. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Come along with me and don't be scared. I just wanna set you free. Come on, come on, come on. You and me can make it anywhere. And for now, we can stay here for a while. Yeah, 'cause you know, I just wanna see you smile. No matter where you go, you know you're not alone. I'm only one.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Beyond measure.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. Last night
This kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew.
All away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Call me, baby, if you need a friend.
Do what you wanna do. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
This fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Look, I don't know what's gotten into me. I could be off on my rocker potentially. Bigger I get, the more they think it less of me. Don't be the one to insult my integrity. Put down the whistle, I'm done with you referees. Y'all don't know nothing, you think you ejected me. Till I show up in the game, like remember me. I gotta make it, these people depend on me. Hey, that's how I'm living these days. Threaten my wife, keep digging that grave. I had a job making minimum wage. Told myself that I gotta get paid. Prove myself, yeah, get on my grades. Walk into class like, give me that A. Think I'm trash, put a bag in your face. And I put you by the road like, look, we're the same. Here's a reminder that I still spit. Think I need to advise you to watch your lip. Or at least realize that I'm not no kid. Don't Google my name trying to find my crib. Write a pop song, then I write a song like this. Do a lot wrong, doesn't matter, I learn quick. I'm an outlaw, my brain has no fence. Doesn't matter either way to me, cause even if it did, I would destroy it. Used to be employee, now I'm employer. Making big deals, now I gotta get lawyers. People tell me to relax and enjoy it, but when I kick back, I see warning. Summertime, my past, can't ignore it. Every time I rap and I'm recording, might be my last, so I absorb it. Cause I gotta make it or make it. I gotta make it or make it, yeah. I gotta make it or make it, man. These are the options. These are the options. I gotta make it or make it. I gotta make it or make it. Yeah. I gotta make it or make it, man. These are the options. These are the options. I gotta make it or make it. I gotta make it or make it. Woo! I gotta make it or make it, man. These are the options.
Take it in, I'm bleeding out. I'm bleeding out for you, for you. When the day has come and I've lost my way around and the seasons stop and hide beneath the ground, when the sky turns gray and everything is screaming, I will reach inside just to find my heart is beating. You tell me to hold on, you tell me to hold on, but innocence is gone and what was right is wrong. 'Cause I'm bleeding out. Say the last thing that I do is to bring you down. I bleed out for you, so I bare my skin and I count my sins and I close my eyes and I take it in and I'm bleeding out. I'm bleeding out for you. When the hour is nigh, hopelessness is sinking in and the wolves all cry to feel the night with horror in. When your eyes are red and emptiness, so you know with the darkness fed, I will be a scarecrow. You tell me, set me on fire, set me on fire. Whoa, whoa. I'm still alive, I'm still alive. Whoa. But you didn't think that I'd come back to life. Higher, faster, everlasting. But you didn't think that I'd come back to life. Higher, faster, never crash. But you didn't think that I'd come back to life. Stronger. But you didn't think that I'd come back to life. Stronger.
Class, attention!
I'm a bullet from a gun and my heart is a trigger. When I was just a kid, I would dream I was bigger. If you wanna make a name, better stand and deliver.
Hey, ever loser and a winner. Oh, can't stop me now. Oh, can't stop me now. The heaven's the heaven wears a crown. I'm singing. Oh, can't stop me now. I climbed so many mountains, each one's another test. It's hard to breathe when it's just you against your Everest. They say what doesn't kill you will only make you stronger. Guess I can shake the world and take the pain a little longer. I'm not running from my kryptonite, and I'll keep rising up. Oh, can't stop me now.
Cause sometimes you just feel tired, feel weak. And when you feel weak, you feel like you wanna just give up. But you gotta search within you. Try to find that inner strength and just pull that shit out of you. And get that motivation to not give up and not be a quitter. No matter how bad you wanna just fall flat on your face.
So like relax, I'm spilling these raps long as you feel them. To the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I am not, then I'ma stop pinning them. And I am not hip-hop, product of pop isn't up. The sizzle, my whistle, this is the plot, listen up. You pistols for God, Slizzle does not give up.
Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my legs give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke clears out, and my...
I'm checking my vital signs, drawing my battle lines, going to war again. Feeling the rhythm inside of my chest, all I need is just a pen. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. Don't care for the critics, my words are like physics, a force that they can't stop. They just don't get it, I think they forget I'm not done till I'm on top. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I believe we can write a story. I believe we can be an army. We are the warriors who learn to love the pain. We come from different places, but have the same name. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. We are the broken ones who chose to spark a flame. Watch as our fire rages, our hearts are never tame. Cause we were born for this. We were born for this. I've struggled for years and through all of the tears I faced the doubts I hide. I never gave in to my fears deep within cause I heard my voice inside. I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I will never lose my voice. If I cut out all the noise, I know I was born for this. I know I was born for this. I believe we can write a story.
My patience was gone, blinded, my vision was wrong. Head underwater in waves I could see. I found the strength in me, the strength in me. I can finally breathe.
Thank you for a nice video. So it is true. Yeah, we were a little hard on them. They actually had to put out real fire. They had to do a lot of push-ups. They had to wear that heavy gear and then do more push-ups and then move big tires. Yeah, they had to act like real firefighters. Yeah, that's what they did, and they earned it. Prepare to secure certificates.
Class 21-147. Prepare to secure certificates. Secure certificate.
All right, while they're doing that, we've reached a point, perhaps the most important part of this graduation ceremony, secure certificates. Yeah. The most important part of the ceremony where they will recite the firefighter's oath, and you're going to hear what they pledge to do for the public, the whole reason the fire department exists, and the reason why we are sworn in both the police and fire service, because we tell the public as an organization what we pledge to do for people we don't know and in the service of others. So prepare to recite the firefighter's oath.
Class 21-147. Attention. Firefighters oath. Firefighters oath. Sir, I do solemnly swear that I will obey the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida. I will hold the post of duty above personal wish. I will count sincerity of service above personal comfort and convenience. And I will strive.
Excellent. I don't know about you, but I believe him. You may be seated, class 2147.
Class 21-147. Prepare to sit. Sit.
And at this time, this is going to conclude our ceremony today, but I have a few parting words for the class and you also. This class, like many others before him, and the fire service, we wear symbols on our uniforms, on our badges. I'm going to tell you a little history about one of the symbols that you've been wearing, and I invite you to find out more about it, but it's the Maltese cross. All right, so it's on your patches, it's on badges in the fire service and on the sides of trucks. So I'm going to tell you where that came from because you need to know its history. So the Maltese cross is known around the world as a symbol of the fire service. It is often seen painted on fire trucks, on the clothing of firefighters, and depicted on firefighter badges. So where did the Maltese cross come from? And how did it get to be known as a symbol of the fire service? The Maltese cross is both a symbol of protection and a badge of honor. Its story is hundreds of years old. When a courageous band of crusaders known as the Knights of St. John fought the Saracens for the right to possess the Holy Land, they encountered a new weapon that was previously unknown to the European warriors that preceded them. This new weapon was a crudely simple but very effective and horrible device of war. It brought terrible pain and agonizing death to many of the fighters for the cross. The Saracens' weapon was fire. As the Crusaders advanced on the walls of the city, they were struck by glass capsules containing naphtha. When the knights became saturated with this highly flammable liquid, the Saracens shot fiery arrows into the midst of the army. Hundreds of knights lost their lives in this brutal act. The others risked their own lives to protect and save their brothers in arms from a horrible fiery death. Thus, these brave men that fought for the lives of their brothers became our first firefighters and the first of a long line of courageous firefighters. These heroic men were recognized by their fellow crusaders, and each hero was honored with a badge of honor, a cross similar to the ones firefighters wear today, a badge of courage, a badge of honor, a badge of bravery. Since the Knights of St. John lived for close to 4 centuries on a little island in the Mediterranean Sea named Malta, the cross came to be known as the Maltese Cross. This badge came to be known as the Maltese Cross. Because the Maltese Cross is a symbol of protection, it means that the firefighter that wears it is willing to protect and lay down his or her own life for the safety of the brothers or sisters, just as the Crusaders did centuries ago. The Maltese Cross is a badge of honor, signifying that he or she works in courage, a ladder's rung away from death. The Maltese Cross has 8 points. Each of the 8 points has a very distinguished and deep meaning. The first point of the cross stands for gallantry. Gallantry is defined as an act of marked courtesy as well as spirited and conspicuous bravery. A firefighter must project gallantry in appearance, dressed at all times, and looking as gallant, brave soul, even in the face of danger. The second point is that of sympathy. Sympathy is described as feelings of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune. This is crucial in the aspect that a firefighter must be able to relate to the victim or the patient in order to give the best possible care available, while at the same time keeping an appropriate level of professionalism. The third point of the cross is that of tact. Tact is the keen sense of what to do and say and to maintain good relations with others and to avoid offense. This is necessary in order to maintain a proper level of professionalism. The fourth point of the cross is observation. A firefighter must hone his or her observation skills in order to avoid unnecessary danger and hazards. The fifth point is that of perseverance. Perseverance is needed in order to be able to complete a mission. Firefighters never quit on the mission or on their colleagues. The sixth point is that of loyalty. Loyalty is one of the most important points on the cross. You must have loyalty to yourself, your partner, your station, to the brotherhood and sisterhood. The seventh point is that of dexterity. Dexterity is a mental skill that involves quickness, readiness, and grace in physical activity. This means that you must maintain a level of mental and physical ability to do your job and do it properly. The last of the 8 points is that of explicitness. Explicitness is the ability to leave no question in meaning or intent. This means that you should know what you are doing and know when to do it and be confident in your actions. The Maltese Cross is steeped in tradition, from the Knights of St. John to the firefighters of modern day. The equipment and people have changed over the years, but the soul of the men and women that put their lives on the line for their brothers and sisters have not. The badge still has the meaning of bravery, honor, and courage. This badge that you've been wearing on those uniforms is the Maltese Cross. So, because you now wear it, and with the oath you just took, you forever belong to us, and we forever belong to you. You represent every firefighter that has come before you and every firefighter that will come after you. Remember that in your actions. A firefighter is never off duty, okay? So treat people the way you'd like to be treated, the way your family needs to be treated, and be ready to serve and protect. So you have just joined us by this act that you did in public. This is why you take an oath. This is why you don't just get handed a badge and a uniform. This is why you go through a fire academy, to understand what you need to do, that you may place your life on the line. So I want to thank you, Class 2147, because you, every single one of you, are prepared. Every single one of you are now part of us. Thank you for a job well done. And with that, that concludes our ceremony. So, again, this little education was for the class, but it's for the families too. You need to understand why they work so hard. You need to understand when they are later on in these departments, when they come home and they may not feel like talking about what they encountered that day. They may have tried to save a life, and despite their best efforts, it was too late. They may not feel like talking about that. Okay, that is the job. They may have faced a danger that was tremendous, and they are dealing with it. They may have witnessed another member of the fire service get hurt, or in fact, something worse. So remember, they need your support for their entire careers, okay? We need you to care for them like you have so that they can do the job that they do. Because we have come full circle. Out of every class, every single class, we have members of the class that respond to our emergencies, the people that are in the fire service. So it's that close a relationship. So when we select the class, when we put them through their paces all the way to the graduation and hiring, we're looking at them literally like members of our family. All right? So we want you to think about that. They are members of family, and so are you. So thank you for your presence here today. It's been a wonderful day. We want you all to go out and celebrate them, class 2147, celebrate your accomplishments. Remember, it is not over, okay? Everybody's paying attention to you. Govern your behavior, even off duty. And I can tell you, as a fire chief, I'd be glad to have any one of you on my department. I'd be extremely proud. So go forward, lead, and enjoy yourself because it's a fun job. All right. So there are, as I mentioned before, we have some water and coolers in the back. And now, if you would, could you please stand to the recession of the class? What they're going to do is they're going to march out to music. They're going to form a formation, and they're going to give a final command. We'll give you time to go out and witness it, okay? So class 21147, retrieve certificates. Class 21147, attention. Class 21147, right face. We may have the recessional music at this time.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.